All right, hello everybody. How are we doing? All right, welcome to Sketchbook Summer. If anybody is new, this is like the third week now, something like that, that I'm doing this. My goal for this summer is to fill this sketchbook from cover to cover before school starts in September. So that is my goal. So my classes for this summer have just been like fun exercise stuff. If you want to fill up your sketchbook and practice, um, we can do that. Do we just have Heather Rose today? I just noticed, like, there's usually two of you. So what we are devoting today to is today we're going to try to draw things that we need to practice, right? So for a lot of artists, sometimes that's hands, or you may avoid drawing backgrounds sometimes if you don't really like drawing backgrounds. You know, every artist is going to be different, right? We all have our trouble spots, and our instincts are to ignore them sometimes, right? Because we don't like drawing them. So this week we're going to take an hour and everybody try to draw, get some practice with something that you maybe struggle with or don't draw as much, right? So sketchbooks are great for that because sketchbooks aren't finished work, right? They don't have to be nice and pretty. They can be kind of messed up because we're learning and we're trying to figure out how certain things can be broken down and stuff like that. So if you want to follow along with me, you know, grab your sketchbook, anything you can draw in, and try to get some practice drawing something that you're struggling with. And then we also want to open up the chat and also like video chat. If you want to ask me any questions for anything that you're stuck with, I am available for that as well. So it's going to be kind of a random class because everyone's going to have different things that they're going to draw that they may want to practice. So I'm going to go over here on mine, and then I'm just going to do some hand studies. And I'm just going to use my non-dominant hand, so my left hand. So I'm just going to practice drawing that a little bit because we could always use more practice drawing our hands. So if you have something else you want to practice, that is okay too. And then if you want to ask me any questions of like, oh, I'm struggling with how to get this thing to look right, you can either ask in the chat or just raise your hand, and Scott is going to help me keep track so we can get to those questions since we're all here together. So kind of do. Sometimes when I'm struggling with something, I will pick up a reference for it, so like a photo or something like that, and then try to figure it out that way. And then with hands, you know, you have another hand right there, so you can just draw what you see from that other hand. Because photos can get kind of weird sometimes. They're great for reference, but you can't always see everything that's going on in photos. Let's see. And then I just looked at the camera. The angle that I'm at is slightly different than the angle the camera is at. So if it looks different, that could possibly be why. Through. So what sort of things is everybody else working on? Does anybody want to share what they're sketching today?
I'm working on a new technique. So it's not like what I'm drawing, but how I'm drawing it.
Okay.
So I've actually started this earlier, but I'm just continuing. Can't really see that well.
It's okay. We all have to struggle with the camera. That's pretty cool. So is that
The original character that you made up?
Sorry, what?
Is that a character you've made up?
No, actually, I know it from a book, but
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to recreate it in my own style.
Okay, cool, cool. And so what was the technique that you're trying out?
I don't know what it's called, but I actually kind of borrowed it from another book with illustrations. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I don't know if you can tell, it's Alice in Wonderland. So.
Oh, okay, okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, so I was like trying to, yeah.
So you're looking at that for like reference.
Mm-hmm.
Neat, that's awesome. It's a very like sketchy kind of style, so that's pretty cool.
Tater says feral cats. I have a lot of trouble with them, and since I have a story with them I'm working on, it'd probably be good to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay, feral cats. So like, we're still talking like house-sized cats. They're just like outdoor cats.
Feral, like down on all fours, but yes, house-looking
House-looking cat. Okay. Yeah, not like lions or tigers. Yeah, if you got a story you're working on, that's a great use of sketchbook time. Kind of figure out what that's going to look like. Over here. Trying to really concentrate on this hand breakdown. All right, that's cool. So Liliana and Heather Rose, what are you working on? We'll give them a second to get that together. Lilia, oh, okay. So Liliana just got there. That's cool. This should be shorter. And I got this. So a lot of these, once I kind of got the gesture down, I'm not going to finish them all the way. Should we move this? Figure out what I need to figure out and then go on to the next one. Even if it's kind of wonky. Okay, so we have Carol. What are you working on?
I'm just working on backgrounds.
Backgrounds? Okay. Is that what you struggle with?
Yeah.
Most, yeah. A lot of people forget about doing backgrounds and neglect them. What kind of background are you doing? Like a beach thing or
I'm trying to do like a bedroom one.
bedroom? Okay. Yeah, indoor stuff I think is really hard. Because outdoor stuff, when there's like plants and stuff like that, you can kind of make it up. You can get away with a lot. But with architecture and indoor stuff, you know, it has to look right. You know, if it doesn't look like the walls match up with the ceiling or stuff like that, people notice. So yeah, that's a hard one for me too. That's cool. Oh, hey Avery. I didn't see Avery come in. So we're just drawing stuff that gives us trouble in our artwork. And I'm just asking everybody what they're trying to sketch today. So do you know what you're gonna try to sketch out today? Try to work on a little bit? Oh, also, if you have any questions, if you're stuck on drawing anything, you can just ask me in the chat or just raise your hand and then we'll get to those questions. Kind of move that along. No, you don't know what you're going to work on? So there's still a couple people I haven't heard from yet. I haven't heard from, Kat, what are you working on today?
I don't know.
Don't know yet?
I might work on something. I'm not really in that much of an artsy mood,
Yeah.
so I might work on something. I might not.
Not feeling it today?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can start like just drawing like maybe something in the room or something like that, or just random shapes and see if like just trying to do one sketch would get you into drawing more. You know, keep it, it's a sketchbook, right? So the stakes are really low. It's not like it's a finished piece or anything like that. So let me get more in between. Yeah, so if you don't know what to draw, just pick something easy to start out with. And then that might give you more ideas, get you more into it. Or sometimes what I do is like you can go to like an old piece that you've done, but you're like, oh, maybe this could be better. Like maybe the background could be better, something like that. Might make you whatever it takes to make you more motivated. Yeah, not all art days are the same for artists. Some artists will have, you know, we have bad art days. That just happens sometimes. Like this. Okay. All right. Got all the segments down. Now I'm trying to actually make them look more like fingers. Eraser, because I might need that eraser. Get the Sharpie and see if I can draw this. Something like this. And I am running into my next drawing, so we may not go very far with this one. Okay. One of the reasons I hate drawing, at least I hate drawing my own hand, is because I have terrible nails. So I'm always breaking and stuff. I'm going to simplify the Sharpie into a cylinder so it's nice and easy. I think it's knuckles more over here. There we go. So we're pretty much officially in summertime right now. Is anybody doing anything fun over the summer? Like going somewhere cool or anything fun planned? Excellent. All right, so it's a little narrower over here, so I need to make it smaller. Okay, that didn't turn out so bad. Sometimes poses with a lot of overlap can be kind of intimidating, but then they end up being a little easier because you can just, you know, stack things and then you only draw what you see. So all of these little fingers down here, I just don't have to worry about them. Leave them out. Let's see, I did one like this. Like this. It's gonna be hard. Let's do it. I'm gonna challenge myself. Down here. Since today is kind of loose structure-wise, if at any point you've reached a point where you're ready to share what you've drawn so far, just go ahead and raise your hand too, and we can have you know, share your work time. Whenever you've got something you want to share. Not the same. So if you're struggling with something, one way to kind of get past that is to break it down into simple shapes that you can draw and sort of go from there. Another way is to just like measure more. So like, especially if you're trying to draw something that you're looking at. So you're gonna go like, oh, how long is this thumb? You know, and then compare it to another finger or another part of the drawing and see if my proportions need some work, because they usually do. A lot of this is just learning to look at things more closely. And then you notice more things just by doing the work of actually like sitting down and trying to draw it in the first place. It's a big help. This is really obvious here, this wrinkle. I usually don't try to draw all the little wrinkles, but sometimes for the really obvious ones, it helps. And then if I think kind of got the basic shape for it. Sometimes I'll draw that like off to the side. So I'll do the breakdown drawing like over here. So I can get some practice, some repetition. I already did that one. Try to think of new hand positions to do sometimes. Maybe this one. We're stuck. Okay. So has anybody seen any new movies? Some people look like they're typing. Give them a second. Luca and Raya. Yeah, I just saw Luca. Luca as well, Scott? Scott, what did you think of Luca without spoiling it?
I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, it was a very very low key Pixar movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, it was very cute. It was very low key though. Does anyone have a movie that they're waiting for that hasn't come out yet? I'm trying to think of what. I feel so out of the loop for what's coming out this summer. I don't even know. Ghostbusters. Oh yeah, there is another Ghostbusters. They still haven't made Ghostbusters that's like as engaging as the original to me. Like the original was like like lightning in a bottle kind of a thing. Like, oh, it's never going to be this good, is it? With Ghostbusters. Oh yeah, I'm not sure when the Buzz Lightyear film is coming out. Really cool. Tater, have you ever seen the the Buzz Lightyear TV show? I forget when, like it's like early 2000s, something like that.
Oh no, I haven't. I'll have to try and find it later.
Yeah, it's a traditionally animated TV show, and I think it was like in between, is right after like Toy Story 2 or something like that, where they made that. Pixar didn't make it, Disney made it. Yeah. Scott, you watch Ghostbusters in theaters? What was that like? Was that a fun experience?
Yeah, it was. I was a little scared, I think, going into it, not knowing what
Uh-huh.
to expect.
Yeah, I know there's some movies that I saw in a theater that I'm like, that's never gonna be the same um experience, you know, like by yourself at home. Like uh for like A Quiet Place, where like everyone was so silent in the theater the whole time, and it's like really eerie, like it kind of adds to the atmosphere of the movie, just how the crowd is reacting to it. So some movies like that too, or with comedies, you know, where you can kind of, you just feel that everybody's having a good time while they're watching it. It kind of makes it more special.
I feel like it's like that with the Star Wars movies
Okay, yeah,
because everyone's
'Cause
really into it and cheering.
everyone's really into it, yeah. Everybody gasps at once. All right. This one doesn't turn out so good, but that's okay. Have to try this pose again later, maybe. Yeah, I know the first time we saw The Force Awakens, when Kylo takes off the helmet, everybody started laughing. It's like supposed to be this dramatic moment, and then everyone's cracking up in the theater. Yes, Carol, that's the one I was talking about. Yeah, I think that's the full name. It's an older TV show. We'll do this one maybe. All right, I need to change the position of this thumb. Wrong. Okay. Okay, so we have about 15 minutes left. Who wants to go first, sharing what they have drawn so far? I'll kind of end that off here. That out. Oh, Carol, you made an animation on a separate computer? What's the animation of?
It's of a person turning on a light.
A person turning on the light? Okay, cool. How long did it, do you know how long it took you?
Well, the entire class period, so.
The entire class period? Okay. That's still pretty fast. Animation takes a long time. Yeah. Were you drawing it on, was it drawn on the computer or was this stop motion or?
It was on the computer. I used Autodesk Sketchbook.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I like that program. I actually do a lot of professional work on that program. That's handy. I don't like that it doesn't have sound though. That's my one, like.
I mean,
major
there's the
gripe.
sound, and there's also the fact that you only have 3 layers to work with.
Yes, yeah, that's the biggest downside.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting Blender soon or something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, Blender's pretty cool. My goodness. So what's been happening with me as I'm going back through these drawings is that I'm drawing bigger and bigger as I go through, which always happens to me. Like these kind of make sense to have for a sketchbook page, you know, and they're starting to run into each other, but it's okay. And then the drawings start getting bigger, and now it's taking up the whole page. It's really a problem when I'm animating, getting size control, because the characters have to stay the same size the whole time. Otherwise it looks just weird. Let's do. So yeah, I have to really work on my size control. I'll just have a hand holding it like this. So what I'm doing here is I grab something and it's kind of big and I'm forcing myself to see if I can fit it inside this space and work on drawing a little smaller. Just once you notice a problem, think, how can I work on doing this a little better? practice this.
Tater would like to share.
Excellent.
Hello, once again I am working digital. So, story I'm working on, bunch of cats in a world, kind of. So this is one character that I'm working on. I don't have a name for her yet, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I like all the markings.
Yeah, I'm quite happy
That's
with how she's
awesome.
turning out.
Yeah, with how the markings work.
Yeah.
So is this like a colony of like of feral cats kind of thing?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
this
All right. Cool. Cool.
from a mountainous area that I still don't have a name for because I suck at names.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the cats in that area have wings because that helps them survive in the mountains. So
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Like winged cats.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That's cool. Does anybody else want to share what they've been working on so far?
I've made an arm with a hand. I don't know how good it'll show, but
Let me see. Ooh, I can see it. Yeah. Nice. Were you just drawing from your head, or were you looking at that book for reference?
from my head, and then I also finished that other drawing, which I'm not in love with, I'll have to say.
That's all right. That happens sometimes. Do you know what it is that you're not in love with right now?
The proportions.
Proportions? Okay. Yeah.
And then there's like something which I can't tell what's wrong with it, but I can tell that it's definitely wrong. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. That's so when I have a situation where it's like I'm not sure what's not working with this drawing. If you're working on the computer, you can just mirror the layer or mirror the canvas and flips it. And usually whatever's wrong will pop out at you, right? It's just that difference of perspective on your drawing. Usually whatever it is will jump out. If you're working traditionally though, you can't just like hit a button and mirror it. But the good news is paper is see-through, right? Most paper. So unless you're working on thick paper, you can just take your drawing and kind of hold it up to the light or something like that. You know, this drawing, this paper is kind of thick. I'd have to shine a light underneath it and then the light will poke through. But that's the same thing. You're seeing like the reverse side of the drawing. And usually that change in perspective is enough for whatever it is to jump out at you, especially if it's proportion issues. That's really common, and usually if you just change your perspective a little bit on it, you'll be able to see it. Another thing is just putting the drawing away, you know, for a couple days or a week or something, and then come back to it. Usually when we draw, we get really close in, and sometimes we just need to take a step back, you know, and then we'll look at it from a fresh perspective when we go in. So it's just changing the perspective that you're seeing the drawing with a little bit can help a lot to figure out, you know, what's happening. Yeah, and a lot of it's just practice, especially with proportion. It just takes a lot of practice, and then drawing from you know, drawing lightly to start out with and then working from there. Yeah. If anyone is looking for photos, right, like reference photos to work from, I use, it's called Line of Action. So what it is, it's a database of reference photos for artists. I think it's a .com. Let me double check. So if you're like, oh, I need to draw, you know, I just need some animals, right? You can set it up where it will give you like a slideshow of pictures that you can draw from. So if you want to practice drawing people, they have like a library for people, and they have a library for faces, and they have a library for hands and stuff like that. Oh, and environments as well. So if you want to draw some backgrounds, they'll have that too. Yeah, it's lineofaction.com. So if you just want to practice, you know, whatever it is. Cool. Did anybody else want to share what they've been working on? I know I lost my pose. Like that. Something like that. What's this? But this thumb should be way over here instead. All right, I got quite a few pages in, so that's pretty good. What I haven't done yet, and I should, is count how many pages I have to go, and then how many days are left in summer, so I can kind of see how close I am to the finish line for this. All right, so I'm gonna do last call for sharing or last call for any questions. If anybody has any questions. Okay, cool. So if nobody has anything to share, we're gonna wrap it up for today. Hope you guys had fun working on some things that might be troubling you, taking a little bit of time to figure that out. So as always, Scott, can I have the donation link in the chat? Thank you. If you feel so inclined to donate and keep us going throughout the year, we really appreciate it. We also have private lessons on our website as well. So if you want to have like a one-on-one with me or with Lee or Ben or anybody, those are available as well. And then I will see you all next week, actually, July. Yes, I will see you all in July. And we're gonna keep doing Sketchbook Summer, trying to fill those up. All right, thank you, Scott, for helping me out. Thanks everybody for drawing with me.
Thank you, Naylene. Bye, everyone.
Absolutely,
Bye. Thank
everybody.
you.